it's Sarah, and I'm on my deck. So if you hear animals, that's why I'm outside, and I live kind of in the country. So the wind is happening, dogs are over there, bugs are up there, crickets are over there, and so are pigs. You can even see where I'm pointing, but in that general direction. And if you see me swiping away bugs or mosquitoes, it's because it's the middle of the day and it's kind of warm, so there are bugs around. I thought before I would do my Divergent review, and that's the book that I'm going to be reviewing next, is Divergent by Veronica Roth. I would do a little mini book haul for June, and this is probably what I'm going to be reading the next few weeks, and so these are things you can pick up or start reading, and then we can have a book club on it and discuss it, and it's going to be great. If you haven't or are reading or need to read Divergent, it's going to be, I think, 2 days before I do the review because I'm rereading it before I read the sequel. And speaking of the sequel to Divergent, the first book that I will talk about is Insurgent by Veronica Roth. It is the sequel to Divergent. Obviously, a lot of people have been talking about it. It's a little bit bigger than Divergent. I'm excited to see where Four and Trish's relationship goes. I'll talk about that in my Divergent book review. I like the cover. It's exactly the same thing as Divergent, but it has a tree, and the color is different. I got this book at my local bookstore called Grassroots in Corvallis, Oregon. If you are looking for it's not really cheap. They sell at the same price as like a regular bookstore would. If you're looking for a local bookstore, Grassroots is a good place to get your books in Corvallis because they are locally owned, I think, and it's good to help the small town community, I guess. And then, speaking of Grassroots, I got 2 more books there. I've seen a lot of reviews on this book, and it's been recommended to me a lot to read, so I got Matched by Condie. I was kind of skeptical on getting it, but it was cheap, so I just bought it there, and I am on page 115. I started reading it when I was waiting for work, but it is a dystopian novel about a romance, so it's a romantic dystopian, and it's about the society that chooses who you love, when you die, where you work, all of that. So I'm excited to read that. Third book at Grassroots that I got was Incarceron, and I've seen a few reviews on this. I haven't heard much talk about it. I know Cassidy from Cassidy Tuck did this review like more than a year ago. It was her first review, I think, maybe, and only other person that I've heard talk about it is Elle Fowler from All That Glitters 21. On our second channel, but I got recommended this by a friend, so I thought I would pick it up. And Grassroots also has the sequel, so if I end up liking this, then I'm gonna go pick it up there, or maybe find it on Amazon for cheaper, because even though I really like going to Grassroots, it's really cute and homey and just awesome to be in a really quaint bookstore. I don't have very much money to just spend on books all the time, and I was really lucky to find these for pretty cheap. So the sequel is called Safik, I believe, and this is about a prison. And it's about a person named Finn and another person named Claudia, and they need to get out of this prison. That's all I know about it. And then this book, City of Ashes, I talked about that I was like maybe chapter 3 during my book club discussion on City of Bones, which is the book before this. This is book 2 in the Mortal Instrument series, and I'm really glad I picked it up before I was done because I could just go straight into it, but I'm gonna probably read Matched first. People have been badgering me to read this book forever. They say it's so good, but I've heard so many mixed reviews about how the first book is good and the second book is really painful to go through, and I haven't really heard much about the third book. I think that one's called Silence, but this is Hush Hush by Becca Fitzpatrick. It's about fallen angels, and I got it at Walmart. I was going in to get milk on my way to pick up my brother from school, and I was like, I have like 5 minutes to spare, let's go see what books they have. And there's actually a good selection of books there, but this was on sale for $4.24 because it's $4.99 for a special limited edition price. It says, Heavenly Price, limited time only, fall into Hush Hush Saga before finale on October 23rd, 2012. 5 days before my birthday. That's cool. I picked this up and I will see how I like it. I'll do a review. I'm just so skeptical. I should not go into books being skeptical, but when you hear mixed things about certain things that you want to like, you don't know how to feel about it. There's the Many Hands Fair Trade store downtown where I live, and I recently found that out because my best friend Whitney took me in, and I took my sister the next day, and we both picked up a few things. The first thing I got was this bracelet. I just want to show it because it's not made in America. It is made, I don't even know where. There was a bunch of little bracelets that were made, and they were only like $4 or $5. And it's made with leather and fabric and rope and wire. It's really cool. So I thought I'd show you that. The last thing I want to show you that I got at Many Hands is this. It is a little notebook. I think this is so cool. My sister and I both got these notebooks at the Many Hands store. It is completely handmade. Oh, wind. Gust of wind. It's completely handmade from India. And it's fair trade, so they're getting a good price when they sell it. It's handmade, hand sewn. It has a little tie that wraps around it. And this was only $5.50, which I think is pretty cool. It's cool that it's like made of cardboard and the fabric is handmade as well. It has cool Indian writing on it, and even the paper is handmade. I don't think you can see the detail because I'm only using my webcam, but it has glitters on it, and like you can tell that it's just like well made. It's like thicker paper too. It's so cool. So I'm gonna use this for notes, and I'm gonna put it in my purse. So, because when I write, I always have little inspirations here and there, and then I don't have my laptop, so I can't write it down, and so I just need to have a little notebook to write it in, and I thought, what better use for this? My sister got one too. It's a little bit different than this one, but she's using it for her cupcake recipes because she is a baker, and she's going to start her own baking company, so she is needing a little, like, secret recipe book. She's like, look at these, and I'm like, that's so cool. She's like, what would I use it for? I don't write, because she doesn't read or write as much as me. Even though she has a Kindle, I wish she would read more. Anyway, I was like, you can just use it as your recipe book and then pass it down to your children because you're going to become a world-famous baker, right? So that's what I thought about it, and she got one too. It's a little bit smaller than this, but this is so cool and colorful. So yeah, that is my little mini book haul. Be prepared for Divergent review. Also, I'm going to be reviewing Across the Universe by Beth Revis in the next week or so after Divergent. So those are the two books that I'm going to be reviewing if you want to catch up beforehand, and I will talk to you later. Bye, guys.